you so much for joining us today on Radiotubetv.com. Now, we're going to go on a report on Dwayne The Rock Johnson calling out President Donald Trump in Black Lives Matter video. Stay tuned to watch what's happening next on that video coming up next. Let the games begin.
Jamel Bowie and Peggy Noonan, I'd like to play for you some sound of Donald Trump discussing how he would approach dealing with that movement if he were president.
And order. And that's going to be one of my big issues and always has been.
What about the Black Lives Matter movement? Will they be singled out as a provocateur in this terrible situation?
Well, you see them marching, and you see them on occasion, at least, I've seen it, where they're essentially calling death to the police, and that's not acceptable.
So he didn't mention Trump by name, as we may see, but we know who he was talking about, of course. There are many issues inside the pandemic taking place, checks not being sent out, police brutality against people of color, and just people of all walks of life. It's pretty much getting out of hand. Since no other celebrities will use their voice for what matters, The Rock did that. I'm happy to see that The Rock has stepped up his game. No leaders are around being leaders. The Rock questioned where all the leaders were, and he also expected that they be accountable for not doing anything. And I think that's a great question to ask them. Why aren't you accountable? He also expanded on why Black lives do matter. As an ex-wrestler, he had his time in the sun. As an actor, it's rumored president may be in the cards for Dwayne Rock Johnson. But that's yet to see of where he's come from, which is great. Now, The Rock also had some words for Donald Trump regarding his concerns for the commander-in-chief and take responsibility for his actions as our leader, but did not rant and rave. It is a calm and uplifting conversation about equality and solidarity. He also said he feels confident speaking for us as far as people of color, Black people, African Americans. Now, we all know Barack Obama came from there. Unrest at the end of June, protests have shifted most cities to curfew after multiple deaths of Black men, women, and people alike who are non-violent most of the time have surfaced. Donald Trump has been slammed by Trudeau, Canadian Prime Minister. It only proves that the president has no plans on changing his rhetoric anytime soon.
Begging and pleading with its arms out, just wanting to be heard. Just wanting to be heard. Begging and pleading and praying for change. Where are you? Where is our compassionate leader who's going to step up to our country, who's down on its knees and extend a hand and say, you stand up. Stand up with me. Stand up with me because I got you. I got you. I got you. I hear you. I'm listening to you. And you have my word that I'm going to do everything in my power and until my dying day, my last breath, to do everything I can to create the change that is needed to normalize equality because Black lives matter. Where are you? It's that same compassionate leader who has to come back and readdress the country, to give important context, to give important perspective on the comments that were just made. Of course, all lives matter. Every single one. All lives matter because we, as Americans, we believe in inclusivity, we believe in acceptance, we believe in human rights, we believe in equality for all. That's what we believe in. So of course all lives matter. But in this moment right now, this defining, pivotal, explosive moment where our country is down on its knees, the floorboards of our country are becoming unhinged. In this moment, we must say the words, Black lives matter. extend a hand and you reach out to Americans who are in pain. And they stand with you. They stand with you. Here's what happens. The entire country stands and rises as well. There is military force that has been deployed on our own people. Looters, yes. Criminals, absolutely. But our protesters who are begging and pleading, our protesters who are in pain, you know, you would be surprised how people in pain would respond when you say to them, I care about you. When you say to them, I'm listening to you. You'd be surprised how people would respond, how Americans would respond if you say to them, I care about you. I am listening to you. This is our country. You are all my people. And I take full responsibility and full accountability